Hi, I'm Reb Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. I'm going through the lessons this year, asking Jesus to clarify for me, and then I'm writing from that clarity. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's get started. What we're going to talk about on this recording is review 4. And we're going to look at the introduction to this review. It says paragraph 1. Now we review again, this time aware we are preparing for the second part of learning how the truth can be applied. Today, we will begin to concentrate on readiness for what will follow next. Such is our aim for this review and for the lessons following. Thus, we review the recent lessons and their central thoughts in such a way as will facilitate the readiness that we would now achieve. Paragraph 2. There is a central theme that unifies each step in the review we undertake, which can be simply stated in these words: my mind holds only what I think with God. That is a fact and represents a truth of what you are and what your Father is. It is this thought by which the Father gave creation to the Son, establishing the Son as co-creator with him. It is this thought that fully guarantees salvation to the Son. For in his mind, no thoughts can dwell but those his Father shares. Lack of forgiveness blocks this thought from his awareness, yet it is forever true. It might seem odd to think of your mind holding only what you think with God. It certainly seems like our minds are full of nonsense, and many of those thoughts cause us immense suffering. Until the mind is healed enough to bring relief, we don't actually realize how much we suffered. So how is it that our minds hold only what we think with God? If we go back to our early lessons, we can see that the chatter in the mind is not our real thoughts. Remember in lesson 15, he referred to them as the thoughts we think we think. They're just meaningless ideas that are meant to obscure our failure to forgive, so much so that we spend most of our lives not knowing why it is we fail to find happiness and peace. Simply acknowledging that these are not our real thoughts and that we do have real thoughts is a big step toward remembering what we are. It is certainly an excellent way for us to ready ourselves to become aware of the thoughts we think with God. Paragraph 3. Let us begin our preparation with some understanding of the many forms in which the lack of true forgiveness may be carefully concealed. Because they are illusions, they are not perceived to be but what they are: defenses that protect your unforgiving thoughts from being seen and recognized. Their purpose is to show you something else and hold correction off through self-deceptions made to take its place. 4. And yet our mind holds only what we think with God. Your self-deceptions cannot take the place of truth. No more can a child who throws a stick into the ocean change the coming and going of the tides, the warming of the water by the sun, the silver of the moon on it by night. So do we start each practice period in this review with readying our minds to understand the lessons that we read and see the meaning that they offer us. I had a surprise recently. All of my adult life, I battled weight. I will gain and lose and gain again. Way too much of my time was spent on thinking about and trying to control the size of this body. But I've also been looking with the Holy Spirit at these thoughts as they came up. I thought I was doing better, even if it was not yet undone. But really, is that possible? If I have a belief that my body needs to be a certain size and that all I need to do is find the right diet, is this an actual correction? No matter how good I become at staying on a diet, I am still trying to heal something at the point of effect rather than at the point of cause. And this is not actual healing. I saw my error recently when a friend was talking about being free of this battle. She just decided not to play the game anymore. It was exciting to hear her say this because it worked for her. But the surprise came when I realized it was also scary. It scared me to think of giving up trying to solve a body issue by changing the body. I had no idea that fear was there. I thought I had forgiven my thoughts about the body, only to discover that I had only hidden them from myself. But this discovery is the beginning of the end. I cannot look with the Holy Spirit at something that I hid from myself, and what is hidden can't be healed. But now it's not hidden anymore. 5, begin each day with time devoted to the preparation of your mind to learn what each idea you will review that day can offer you in freedom and in peace. Open your mind and clear it of all thoughts that would deceive, and let this thought alone engage it fully and remove the rest. My mind holds only what I think with God. 5 minutes with this thought will be enough to set the day along the lines which God appointed, and to place his mind in charge of all the thoughts you will receive that day. 6, they will not come from you alone, for they will be shared with him. And so each one will bring the message of his love to you, returning messages of yours to him. So will communion with the Lord of hosts be yours, as you himself has willed it be. And as his own completion joins with him, so will he join with you, who are complete as you unite with him and he with you. Wow. For 5 minutes, I will join with the Lord of hosts and share thoughts with him. Do you realize what he's saying here? We are to focus on our oneness with God. I know that we say we are one with God, but how often do I actually realize that I share God's thoughts? All I need to do to become more conscious of this is to let go of the ego thoughts. And in that silence, I will find my real thoughts, the thoughts I share with God. 7, after your preparation, merely read each of the 2 ideas assigned to you to be reviewed that day. Then close your eyes and say them slowly to yourself. There is no hurry now, for you're using time for its intended purpose. Let each word shine with the meaning God has given it, as it was given you through his voice. Let each idea which you review that day give you the gift that he has laid in it for you to have of him. And we will use no format for our practicing but this. 8, each hour of the day, bring to your mind the thought with which the day began and spend a quiet moment with it. Then repeat the 2 ideas you practiced for the day unhurriedly, with time enough to see the gifts that they contain for you, and let them be received where they were meant to be. 9, we add no other thoughts, but let these be the messages they are. We need no more than this to give us happiness and rest and endless quiet, perfect certainty, and all our Father wills that we receive as the inheritance we have of him. Each day of practicing as we review, we close as we began, repeating first the thought that made the day a special time of blessing and of happiness for us. And through our faithfulness, restored the world from darkness to light, from grief to joy, from pain to peace, from sin to holiness. What a job we have, right? But we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with the Holy Spirit in our mind. 10, God offers thanks to you who practice thus the keeping of his word. And as you give your mind to the ideas for today again before you sleep, his gratitude surrounds you in the peace wherein he wills you be forever, and are learning now to claim again as your inheritance. Let us today follow this guidance. May we trust that as we place his mind in charge of all the thoughts we will receive today, our minds are being healed. This happens whether we notice these messages of love or not. Think for a moment of what is being offered to us today. He tells us, so will communion with the Lord of hosts be yours as he himself has willed it be. And as his own completion joins with him, so will he join with you who are complete as you unite with him and he with you. And he will thank you for your practice. Thank you for joining with me in this introduction to our review. And we will want to keep our mind on this as we go through these coming lessons. You know, these reviews he gives us are important. And I like to go back and read the introduction again from time to time so that I will get everything from the review that I can get. Well, I thank you so much for joining me in this, and thank you for watching my video. And if you found it helpful, please like it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. And I'll be back in just a little while with the lesson for today.